Welcome back to Growing Craft. Please do subscribe to our channel before we start this video and do not forget to hit the bell icon so that you do not miss out any of our updates. Also do check our website www.growingcraft.com and let's get started. So before we start this video, grab your cup of coffee and let's get started. Now here I have already done the prepping of my base. Now what is prepping up of my base? So here I had this old MDF tray on which I had done some random coloring. I really don't know why, but I had done that long time back, and now I wanted to give it a makeover. So yeah, it was like actually giving a new life to my one of the old trays. So I'm so sorry I could not shoot that, but that one is super easy. So it's just that it was my MDF tray on which I had done some acrylic and chalk paint color. So I have just done a coat of my gesso, and I have added a tinge of gold color to my gesso just to make sure that I get a nice creamy color. And I did good 2-3 coats of gesso here in this one, just because I had to hide the darker shade of my base tray. So once I did that, I let it dry for one complete day. That really helps in making your base prepped up really well. Otherwise, if I use my colors on the top of it, otherwise if I use my any other medium on the top of it, it is just going to ruin back. So yeah, I do suggest that please do let your stuff dry really well before doing the next layer. It gives an ample amount of time for you to work with the new mediums on the top of it. That really helps. Now once I'm done with that prepping up of the tray, here I'm using my sandpaper and I'm just scraping off the edges. This is just to give it a little rustic effect, because the kind of work I'm going to do later on, that really needs some kind of unfinished surface. I don't want too much of unfinished surface, because this tray was actually requested by my daughter because she really wanted to have something similar like this for our home. So yeah, this is for you, Vanya. And yes, so I am just scrapping my sandpaper. If you want, you can use your nail filers also. If you have not checked how to use your nail filers, you can check any of my previous decoupage videos. You will see that I have used nail filers for doing this scrapping work, although that's not a very good idea. But if you don't have a sandpaper, you can definitely use that. Now once you're done with your sandpaper work, you need to remove all the dust from your tray really well. And once this is done, then it's time to use my gliding foil. Now this is one of the most beautiful and amazing supplies what you can have. This was sent to me by Let's Get Crafting, and I am using my iCraft adhesive to stick these. Now with a flat brush, the Anukul brushes, I am applying my adhesive on the base completely. You cannot use any other adhesive, you cannot use any random adhesive. It has to be either the gliding adhesive, or you can use this iCraft adhesive. I'll mention all the supplies linked down in the description box. You can check that. Now honestly, this is one of my ways of doing this tray in this nice metallic and like giving these kind of effects. If you guys have any of the alternates, or if you have done something else, you can let me know in the comment section. I will be more than happy to get inspired and see your work. So please do let me know like what are your variations of doing and giving a metallic look to your trays or your bases or any of your artworks. Now for picking up my gliding foil, here I am using my fan brush. This is one of my favorite brushes which I love using. I use this for almost everything, and I just have one brush, like fan brush. When I say I just use one brush for everything, otherwise I have all the brushes from Anukul, and I have used almost all of them on my different varieties of project. Now here is a quick tip. If you are using a gliding foil adhesive, if you are using the iCraft one, you can stick your foils immediately. But if you are using the adhesives from different brand, you will have to wait for 5 to 7 to 10 minutes so that adhesive starts reacting on your base, and then you start sticking your foiling work. So it completely depends on what kind of adhesive you are using. That much amount of time you will have to give for your adhesives to start reacting. Now honestly, when I started this, I had decided on doing the metallic work all over, but then I thought, why not to give a nice rustic look with the metallic, and these foils are just absolutely amazing. So just imagine, like while doing this, I had this thought I can do similar kind of corner tables or my flower pots. Just imagine a beautiful flower pot with a gliding foil, and it is going to look absolutely amazing. Yes, I am working on one of the more tutorials with these gliding foils, so please do stay tuned. Now I am going to make sure that I have my gliding foils on almost all the areas, because they look absolutely gorgeous and beautiful. So it's not that I use only it for my tray work. I have recently done one of my nameplate making. I'll share the picture, or you can just check that on my website growingcraft.com. And yes, there you can have a look at how I have used my gold gliding for my nameplates. So yes, they have multiple purpose and the uses. So do check this supply. This is one of the very in supplies, and this is something which is absolutely gorgeous and a super easy material to give a complete makeover to any of your project. Now as you can see, I'm just using my foiling for bits and pieces in the areas. Why? Because I have to do a lot of stamping there. Of course, my massive stamps are something which I really like and I really love, and that is something which I love using as a filler for my projects, be it my nameplates, be it my frames, be it my scrapbook making, be it my mixed media or my decoupage arts. I absolutely love it. Now honestly, when I was doing this project, I had just thought maybe I'll just use 1 or 2 sheets, but while doing this project I did not realize, but I actually used 4-5 sheets of my gold gliding sheets, and I loved it. I really loved it. So I hope Kushmin can send me some more, please. Okay, now even on the outer sides also I'm going to have my sheets, and for before applying my sheets here I'm having my adhesive. Now honestly, whenever you are using your gliding adhesive, you need to clean up your brushes immediately. So of course this process took me a little time to finish it up completely, but the moment I was done with this sticking work, immediately I cleaned up all my brushes. You need to soak them in a good hand wash adhesive hand wash soap with some water, and then you need to let it soak in for 15-20 minutes and then clean it up immediately, otherwise your brushes are going to get rained off. I know there are some of the brushes available in the market for specifically this purpose, but I have not used them personally, so I cannot comment on that. Just in case, if you guys know any of such good brands, do let me know in the comment section so that I can try that out. Or maybe if you are into those brushes and if you want me to try those brushes, feel free to connect with me on my YouTube. Okay, so here I would request you not to count my gliding sheets, how many sheets I have been using, but it was an amazing experience to use all of these. Yes, the cost of this tray is going to be a little on a higher side. Why? Because the quality of material, whatever I'm using in this tray, is a really high quality material. So even after a rough using and a longer using, it is not going to ruin at all. And of course, when we are doing some home decor or something which we are going to use in our kitchen or for our accessories or decoration, of course we want them to last for a longer time, at least for 5, 7, 10 years time, because that's the at least the minimum span of time for which we want to buy the stuff. So yes, of course, if you are putting so much of effort in doing your work and in creating a beautiful piece of art, this much effort and the cost is required for sure. So here we are done with our gliding work and this looks gorgeous. Now these are transfer me sheets. So very recently I had bought this big size transfer me sheets and I absolutely loved it. There is one more tray which I have done that was done with a different technique, but now this is something which is done in a complete different way. Now as these sheets are really long, I am going to cut this into 2 halves. Not in a very particular size, just a rough cutting work from the center. Now I'm going to have these around my tray sides. Now first we need to cut this, then we need to remove the film. I've already done the fussy cutting work so that I save time on screen. Now honestly, I have not trimmed off any of the steps from this video. Whatever I'm showing you is what exactly I have done. Is just the fussy cutting work and the prepping of the base. Those are the 2-3 things which I have done off camera, so that I save a little time when I'm doing this video. Now I'm sticking this on my sides of my tray. Before doing your sticking work of the these kind of sheets, you need to make sure that your base has dried out. It has dried up really well. It should not sticky, it should not dirty, it should be really clean. Now here, as my cutting work was not really good, so yes, my sticking work, actually not my cutting, it was my sticking work which was not really good, so I could see the overlap, so I had to just cut that. Once I am happily done with the sticking this on my base, I am using a sponge dauber and I am dabbing it all over my transfer me sheets. Now honestly, when I had started doing these kind of sheets works on my project, I used to have a big bowl with the water and everything, and I used to waste so much of water. Honestly, it used to like take me like, oh god, why I'm wasting so much of water. Then finally I realized that we really need such a small amount of water. So now I have started taking up water in a small container. I know it's not a very big thing, but yes, saving water is really important, which I have realized that initially I was wasting too much of water. So tada, here while talking to you, my one side of tray is done and this looks super cool. Now I know many of you will be saying that why I had done my transfer me later on after the gliding work. Why not first transform me and then the gliding work? Because honestly, like I mentioned, I wanted to have a very nice natural rustic kind of look, so that's the reason first I did my gliding work, then on the top of it I have used my transfer me. Now honestly, if you will see the pictures at the end, which I have already posted in this video, you will realize that first it is my base color white, then I have my gliding work, then I have my transfer me sheets. So honestly, what you see on the top is an actual very nice metallic flowers, which is something which I absolutely loved. So it's not that once you're done with the transfer me work, you cannot do anything on the top of it. You can do it, but I wanted to have this kind of look of my project. That's the reason I have chosen to do my gliding work first, and then I did my transfer me. So of course, the kind of steps you want to do, you can decide that of your own. Now second thing is that there are 2-3 ways of using these sheets, like in the sense of look and feel. Either you can have these sheets in the center of your tray, do a little bit of work on the sides, and that should also look good. But this is a very small tray, like this is just 10 inches by 10 inches. So if I do anything inside my tray and not outside, then most of the stuff is not going to be visible aesthetically. That's the reason I chose to have my transfer me sheets outside. I hope you guys are getting what I'm trying to say, that if you are working on a bigger projects, the bigger surfaces, if the tray is really huge, then you can do the transfer me inside. That will be very much visible. But if you are working on a small surfaces, try to do it on the sides, like especially when you are working on a tray, so that because the sides are going to be much more visible than the center part, just because it's a small size tray. So here I am done with my transfer me work on the side. So I have literally just used one big piece of my transfer me floral cutout, and my whole outside border is done. That's it. That was the only thing which I used for my outer side. Now either you can leave your tray just like that, do your varnish work, and you are done. But here I had some more left out pieces of these flowers, and honestly, like keeping and saving these flowers is not going to save anything for me, because keeping these small pieces is really difficult for me. If it is easier for you, you can definitely try that, but it is a little difficult part for me. Also, I really wanted to have just the corners highlighted. So even if just imagine I'm having 2 cups of coffee on this tray, my corners are going to be visible. That's the reason I also thought that using these flowers and the leaves cutouts on the corners is really going to give a nice poppy look to my inner side of the tray. So here I am actually like just mixing and matching all my flowers and the leaves, and I am trying to incorporate as many pieces as I can, because my corner should also pop out really well. So honestly, when you are watching this video, you will not realize it now, but within few seconds you will see that how beautifully my tray is turning out. So like even if when you see it from the top, you can see the corners are getting highlighted. Now, like I mentioned earlier, that later on I am going to do my stamping work. So that is also one of the reasons why I did not do my gliding work on my complete tray, because I wanted to have that nice cream color look, then my black color stamping, then my gliding work, and then my transfer me. So it is going to be a complete mix match tray, but a beautiful, beautiful one. Like I mentioned earlier also, I have done a similar tray of a very big size that's there on my website. I'll try to share the link in the description box, or you can just browse to my website and you will see the varieties of trays what I have done with the transfer me and the gold gliding and the stamping and a lot of texture work, and I'm sure you are going to love that. Also, I would love to know if you guys have tried out these kind of sheets, and what was your reaction, how you did it, and how was your experience with these one. Do let me know in the comment section, and do let me know if you like this process. I know this is taking a little time, but it is worth it, my friends. Now it's time to dab my water, and I have speed up the process because this is going to take a little time. So now here is a very quick tip. On the corners and edges with my sponge dauber, it becomes a little difficult. So what I do is I take a lot of water on my brush and I keep on dabbing on my transfer me. Now how to know that your transfer me is ready to be pulled off? When you soak the water, like when you soak it with the water, you should be able to see at least 40% of your design on the top of it clearly, and your complete paper should be wet. If your complete paper is wet and you are able to see 30-40% of your image, that means your transform is ready to pull out. Or else you can just very slowly from the tip of your finger you can try to pull it out, and this looks gorgeous and beautiful. So here I am done with my first lot of transfer me, and on the edges wherever I felt that I want to add a little more flowers just as a continuation, I am adding my cutouts. But then this is completely optional, my friends. With if you are having a 10 inches by 10 inches cut tray, then I think one big strip for outside is just perfect. Like I said, for me saving up the small nicks and knacks and the pieces is a really difficult part, so I just thought of adding them on my sides. Having them on the handle is also a good idea. You can try that, and if just in case you are trying this exact method, do let me know how did it turn out, and I would love to know your feedback, that how these things, how my tutorials are working out for you, so that I can work it out and try to make it more easy and more comfortable for all of you. So yes, adding few more pieces at the end, and this is just to make sure that all my corners are looking popping out really well. So I have also realized that you can always overlap these sheets. They work out beautifully. I know it looks a little difficult and tricky, but then this is super easy. Once your transfer me sheets have gone wet, they can be used very beautifully. So my hands were actually itching to put something on the center, but I had to control so much. So here we are done with the transfer me work, and now it's time to do my favorite, massive stamping. Now for the massive stamping, here I have chosen the dot stamp. So honestly, when I was when I had done this project, I was like, Mama, you should have done a little more stamping, but I just felt that doing this much of stamping was enough. So I would like to know from you, that was this much stamping is enough, or should I have done a little more? So let me see if the step that I have chosen is correct, or I should have listened to Vanya. So let me know in the comment section. Now for the stamping work, you always need to use your permanent ink pad, and for your permanent ink pad, here I am using the Kawal permanent black ink pad. I think this is such a versatile color which goes with all kind of color combinations, all kind of themes, and I am using this just as a filler. And I'm doing this on every nicks and corners wherever I think that this is looking a little empty. Now after doing your stamping work, you need to just little settle down for say 5 to 10 minutes. I know it is not required, it is not mentioned anywhere that you need to give it some time, but it is I have realized that if you give it some time, say 4-5 minutes to settle down, and whenever you use and whichever varnish you use, it is going to work out really well. Now, just in case if you want to know about the varieties of ink pads, you can check our video which is there on our channel about the ink pads. Like there we have covered almost all kind of ink pads, and that's something which I highly recommend you guys to watch that video before buying any of your ink pads, so that you know that what is the purpose of that ink pad. So at last I am going to seal it up with my water based varnish, and I am going to have good 2-3 coats of varnish. That is really important. Many of you have tried using this varnish and then you guys have messaged me that my varnish did not work out well, my colors got smudged, this and that. So that's the reason I always say that once you have done one layer of work, let it dry for a good amount of time and then only move on to the next step. Now, if for example, if your base color has not dried out completely, if you are going to do varnish on the top of it, first of all, if this is a water based varnish, it is going to dilute your color. So that's the reason you guys need to make sure that you give ample amount of time to your first layer of work, then the second layer of work, and then at last when you're doing your varnish, give it some time to dry out, then only do it. So yes, with this our this beautiful tray altar project is done. This looks absolutely gorgeous. I'm coming up with some more tutorials with these kind of sheets or the similar sheets or some of the gliding work. So please do stay tuned to my channel and do not forget to subscribe to my channel, friends. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Take care. Bye bye.